Oh, ladies and gentlemen, they call me Eduardo. Yes, one government for African leaders. It is almost coming to reality. Now, one question everybody was talking about is how are they going to be calling the presidents in that one government? For your information, all the presidents in that one government will now be governors. Yes, we will not have only one president taking charge of Africa. Just imagine a citizen from Ghana can come to Nigeria, school in Nigeria, be well respected in Nigeria because you are an African citizen. A citizen from Nigeria can go to Zimbabwe, can go to Yemen. No, I say Yemen. He can go to Kenya, he can go to South Africa, he can go to anywhere in Africa. Things like xenophobia in Africa will no longer happen because you will be a proud African. You will not need visa to go to South Africa anymore as far as you are from Africa. Westerners will start lobbying to come to Africa just the way we lobby to go to the West. That is it. Let's build Africa strong. Watch the video till the end and understand what is currently going on between the AU and African leaders. God bless you.
Breaking news. Tisu Vanhuvacho. If we don't fix Africa, who will? A historic shift. From president to governor, brothers and sisters, history is being written in real time. If you woke up today and heard that your country's president is no longer called a president, but a governor, don't panic. Don't be confused. This isn't a demotion. It's a transformation, a step into the future. Yes, under the structure of the new One Africa government, all African presidents are expected to relinquish the title of president and assume the new role of governor of their respective states. This change is not cosmetic. It comes with a complete reshuffling of power, governance, and what it means to be a citizen of the new Africa. Why this matters. Understanding presidential powers. To understand what's at stake, let's first reflect on what powers presidents currently hold in most African countries and around the world. 1. Executive authority. Presidents are typically the head of the executive branch. They appoint ministers, control national policy, and often influence the judiciary and legislature. 2. Commander-in-chief. They have control over the national army and security agencies. 3. Budget control. Presidents oversee and influence national budgets, infrastructure projects, and economic decisions. 4. Diplomatic power. They represent their nations globally, sign treaties, attend UN meetings, and negotiate with global superpowers. 5. Legislative veto or approval. In many African constitutions, presidents can sign laws, veto them, or send them back to parliament. 6. Emergency declarations. Presidents can declare states of emergency, dissolve parliament, and even extend their rule, as we've seen in many cases. These powers, my people, are immense. That's why presidential politics in Africa has often turned violent, corrupt, or manipulative. Because with that much concentrated power, corruption follows like a shadow. Now flip the script. Introducing One Africa governance. Under the proposed One Africa government, a new executive power structure will be introduced. And here's the catch. The African Union president becomes the most powerful political figure on the continent. Regional representation via the AU will take over many executive decisions. Presidents of nations will now serve as governors, focusing only on domestic state matters, but following continental policies and laws. Let's break it down. The new power pyramid. 1. The African Union president, continental level, elected via a rotational regional system until full African elections in 2036. Oversees continental security, trade, diplomacy, environmental regulation, and interstate governance. Signs or vetoes continental bills passed by the Pan-African Parliament. Commands the One Africa Army, uniting the continent's military resources. 2. The Continental Cabinet, ministers of energy, youth, AI and innovation, agriculture, peacekeeping, and more. Drawn from across all African regions, sets long-term African-wide policies that apply to all 55 nations. 3. The governors, former presidents, administer their local state, implement continental laws and policies, participate in the Council of Governors, giving input but not overriding AU laws. No longer attend G20 summits individually. Instead, the AU president represents all of Africa. What this means for ordinary citizens. Many people are asking, so what does this change mean for me? Here's the answer. It means streamlined governance, continental protection, and a united economy. 1. No more border frustration. As a citizen, you'll be able to move freely from Zambia to Morocco, from Nigeria to Ethiopia. The African Identity Card and Common Visa System will unlock this dream. 2. One currency, one market. This transformation sets the stage for a single African digital currency, expected by 2030, eliminating dependency on USD or Euro for trade. 3. Pan-African jobs and education. AU-wide recruitment will begin for teachers, scientists, soldiers, engineers, not by country, but by merit. 4. Unified military protection. Whether you're in Somalia or South Africa, you're under one military shield, designed to stop coups, terrorism, and foreign-backed rebel groups. The loss of power. What presidents must give up. Let's be honest, this isn't an easy shift for current African presidents. Here's what they will lose. National control of the army. Command now belongs to the continental AU structure. Sole control over foreign policy. Foreign ambassadors will now engage through the AU, not directly with each president. Monopoly over national budgets. Budgets will have to align with continental goals. For example, if AU declares tech first, all states must prioritize tech funding. Constitutional amendments for power extensions. This will now be restricted or even blocked by AU guidelines. Control of national media. New AU Media Ethics Act means all state broadcasters will align with AU standards of journalism, transparency, and accountability. No one is above the new African Constitution, not even the richest president, said Chairman Shadow. Timeline. How this will roll out. Phase 1, 2025 to 2026. AU expands executive powers officially. AU president becomes continental head, starting with João Lourenço or next chairperson. State constitutions begin adjustments. One Africa government formally launched. Phase 2, 2026 to 2030. Governors settle into new roles. One Africa ID rollout complete. AU introduces foundational continental laws on trade, human rights, and technology. Military unification begins. Phase 3, 2030 to 2036. Digital African currency. AU elections framework complete. First Pan-African elections in 2036, where Africans vote for one leader together. Not losing identity, but gaining unity. Some are scared. Will our countries lose their culture? No. Each governor will preserve national culture, language, and values, but under a shared umbrella. The One Africa government is about strength in numbers, not erasing individuality. Think of it like this. Nigeria is still Nigeria. Zimbabwe is still Zimbabwe. Ghana is still Ghana. But they are now brothers and sisters in one household, not strangers in one neighborhood. Goodbye to presidential palaces? In the new system, extravagant state palaces and entourages are expected to shrink. Governors will no longer ride 15-car convoys. AU will place caps on leadership expenditure. Leadership means service, not royal treatment. In fact, a leaked document reveals that the new AU Ethics Charter proposes a continental leadership code of humility and sacrifice, similar to the Sankara Doctrine. Real people power, coming in 2036. When Africa finally votes together, your ballot in Cape Town will carry the same weight as someone's in Casablanca or Kampala. The African Union will use digital voting systems, mobile ID validation, and third-party audits. That is when democracy gets real meaning. No more power games, no more dynasties, no more military manipulation. One Africa, one vote. Reactions from the ground. Here are what some citizens are already saying. So you're telling me we'll have one leader? That sounds like healing, not control. Naledi, student in Gaborone. It's about time we stopped being 55 divided hustlers and became one united force. Daniel, entrepreneur in Lagos. Governors must remember, this isn't a downgrade, it's a redirection. Mama Chipo, retired teacher in Masvingo. Final thoughts. A peaceful revolution. This is the most peaceful revolution in Africa's political history. For the first time, African leaders are surrendering power willingly, not because of war, sanctions, or coups, but because they believe in something bigger. They believe in us. They believe in Africa. We are not creating kings. We are redefining leadership. We are not creating chaos. We are engineering clarity. Your turn, Africa. So now the question is, do you accept this change? Do you support it? Because One Africa isn't just about changing presidents to governors, it's about changing everything that has ever divided us. And finally, making sure that our unity becomes our power. Tisu Banhu Vacho.